Hello, this is teddygaming. Welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt The Alliance issue number 4. And this issue was really interesting in some parts, but also at the same time is really confusing in other aspects of this comic, to the point where I'm really confused on how things are going to be playing out and also for the future for this series, just because there's some things in here which I was not really expecting. And at the same time, I'm not too sure what's really going to be happening with everything really. So yeah. Okay, so first start off with Donatello, who goes to the future, and he's in this tower, and we don't really know what's really going on here. And that's when he hears a voice, which is actually Donatello from the future, and we can see that Donatello reveals actually quite a bit about the Armageddon game, saying that basically after the Armageddon game, that no one really listened to him, but didn't really talk to anyone, and then that's when the Armageddon actually happened. And yeah, that's all we really know from this little bit. And I must admit, this little bit here was really intriguing, just because I must admit, it did reveal a lot of stuff about the Armageddon game in a way, in terms of that it happens afterwards, and it's something big and something that Donatello knows about. So I'm really curious to see what actually really happens with this. So yeah. But that's when we cut to the present, and we get to see that Okoye has found Venus de Milo and Bludgeon, but that's when Venus is more or less stops time in a way. And I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe this has something to do when Donatello stopped time, as I think because we do find out later that Donatello and Venus are connected through the shell, so I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe it has something to do with that. And that is when Venus gets pulled into the future and takes Bludgeon with her. Now when we're here, we do get to see two really interesting aspects of this comic. Now the first bit which I'm going to talk about is Donatello stuff. Now while I don't really get to see too much about Donatello, and just get to see him just going through books and he wants to find a way to go home, I do think there's some really interesting things in here, as he's looking through all the information he gets, and wouldn't be too surprised if he does get some information about the Armageddon game, even though it doesn't get revealed here. But you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if he does actually get revealed something. But that is when we do get this really awesome note, and it's the same note that Kirby gives at the end of the King story. And must admit, it put a big smile on my face to see the words "Love is best is bittersweet." And I must admit, it was interesting to see that it was for Don by Don. So you know, really interested by that. And I'm not too sure what to really make of all of it, if he knew Donatello was coming or stuff like that, because we know that from this is that basically that this was always meant to happen in a way. So I'm just curious about everything really now. So I'm not too sure what way to make of the note. I wouldn't be too surprised if it does actually have something to do with the story, but yeah. Now for the main bit, we get to see Venus de Milo and Bludgeon looking on the future selves, and we get to see them more or less have this own unique clan where they're doing magic and stuff like that. And that's when Donatello comes in and asks if future Venus is ready for everything, and Venus thinks that Donatello is barging in and destroying everything. But that is when Donatello goes up to the sky and brings in the Armageddon shark. Now the thing is with this is the part where I got really confused, just because they don't really explain anything about this. Just because with this scene we get to see the Armageddon game shard just come down and destroy absolutely everything. Now the only thing with this is that I don't know if maybe Donatello is the cause for all this, he can control it, if they're trying to stop it or what. Because this shark was also seen in the common flashbacks or dreams and stuff like that. So again, I'm very confused about all of this, if maybe they can actually stop this, if this is a coming thing or what. This is the thing that intrigued me the most in terms of what could happen, but at the same time it's all one of those things where it's just I'm not too sure what I'm really reading, because it could, I don't know, it's one of those things where you could interpret it in many different ways, and also it's going to be one of those ones that it will have to be wait and see type situation until we actually get the actual full answers for it. So then in the backup story, you do get to see Bludgeon and Venus have found this new base, and that's when Karai comes in with Koya, and Karai asks Bludgeon to get ready to prepare for war to go up against the clone turtles and all that, and that's when Bludgeon says no, he wants to leave that all behind, he wants to do peace, and he doesn't want any more blood and all that. Now the thing is with this is that I think this could be an interesting thing to go down with Bludgeon and Venus want to start their own clan. But, okay, so the thing is, the two things we hear with this is, one, the whole clan thing is a really interesting thing. I just don't think it will actually get developed whatsoever, really, and more or less just be a waste of time, realistically. And then, secondly, a ninja clan is more or less like used for fighting and blood and all that. So I'm not exactly too sure what Bludgeon is really hoping to get out of all this, with like having a clan to not actually fight or kill anyone. So I'm somewhat curious by all this, and I'm not really too sure what to really make of it, but again, this could be an interesting thing depending where things go. So yeah. Now overall, this issue I'd say is a really interesting one. I do think that this issue has set up a lot of really interesting things for the future for this series in terms of the Armageddon game, and I don't really know if it has given us a lot of great answers or has really set up anything for the actual future for this whole Armageddon game and stuff like that. But I do think there is quite a lot of interesting things in this issue that does set up some interesting things, I would say. I do think that the Bludgeon and Venus thing could be a really interesting story. I just don't know if it will actually go anywhere. I would like to say that it will, because this does seem like a really interesting thing, but at the same time I'm not exactly too sure. And I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe they'll just combine their clan with the Hamato clan. It just feels that kind of thing. Now with the actual time travel stuff, I thought that was pretty decent, but the whole stuff with Armageddon, I'm not too sure what to really make of it. It's interesting stuff, I just don't know what to make of it. I just think this whole issue is just going to be a wait and see type situation, where some of this stuff does actually get developed and actually explored and answered, or this will be like a tease of things to come. So I feel as though this issue was an interesting one, but at the same time, it's going to be a wait and see to see how much of this actually plays off. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do have some, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.